Today I'm flying my favorite narrow-body jet, the Airbus A220, on airBaltic, an airline I have not tried before. And I'm taking perhaps their weirdest route. This one is not going to or from Riga, Latvia, where airBaltic is based, nor any of their secondary hubs in Estonia, Lithuania, or Finland. No, today I'm flying from Copenhagen, Denmark to Zurich, Switzerland. I'm excited. airBaltic is operating the flight today on behalf of Swiss as a wet lease. What that means is that airBaltic provides the aircraft, the crew, maintenance, and insurance. Swiss, on the other hand, provides the ticketing. This flight does have a Swiss flight number, the check-in, the service concept, and the Swiss chocolates. Two of those things did not work well on this flight, and I can say that freely because I paid for this flight myself. Before we get to all of that, let's get to Copenhagen Airport. Welcome to Copenhagen Central Railway Station. From here, there are two ways of getting to the airport. The first method is to take the commuter train, and those trains will then continue over to Sweden across the Öresund Bridge. The second method is to take the metro, and today I'm going to take the metro. The entrance to the metro is right there in the corner, so I'm going to take the steps down. So today I'm flying the Airbus A220, which is an amazing aircraft. It was launched as the Bombardier C-Series. The aircraft has a special relationship to the two airlines that are involved in today's flight, namely Swiss and airBaltic. Swiss was the global launch customer for the first model of the C-Series, the CS100, the model that is known as the A220-100 today. And the launch customer for the larger version, the CS300, the model that is today known as the A220-300, was airBaltic. airBaltic is a unique airline in this sense because its entire fleet consists of Airbus A220s. So no matter which flight you take, you will always get a beautiful and modern aircraft. As we make our way to the airport, check out this fully automated, driverless metro system that Copenhagen has. It's one of the very few places in the world where you can be in the very front of the metro train. Because I usually take the train to Copenhagen Airport, I had forgotten that there is actually no direct metro line from Copenhagen Central Station. So I'm changing here at Kungens Nytorv, and I'm going to grab the M2 yellow line from here to the airport. I'll be there in a couple of minutes. This metro ride is over and I have successfully arrived here at Copenhagen Airport. So was it worth taking the metro and having that one extra stop instead of taking the train? Sure, I always enjoy taking a nice driverless metro like the one they have here in Copenhagen, but if you want the quickest and most efficient connection, take the commuter train instead. My airBaltic flight will depart from terminal number 2, so I'll have to walk down this nice bridge. It's covered in this beautiful hardwood floor. That's one of the things that I love about Copenhagen Airport. This flight is sold as a Swiss flight, so I'll have to find the Swiss check-in desk, which also handles flights for Lufthansa and Austrian Airlines. Check-in today was a frustrating experience. There was a huge line to the business class check-in. I tried the self-check-in with the print your baggage tag yourself. It just wouldn't accept my backpack. That was a waste of a lot of time. All right, now I'm going to go through security. The security here in Copenhagen is always wonderful, so I'm going to go upstairs and head out to the lounge. I'm through security, but I did not have an excellent experience, unlike I predicted. I've never had to wait more than about 3 minutes in the security line here at Copenhagen Airport, but today it was more like 20 minutes. Plus, my jacket got randomly selected for a manual security screening. This was another point of frustration on this trip. And it's a real shame because this is one of my favorite airports, but I was not having a great experience today. Now let's just check out the lounge, and I hope I can get a nice hot drink there before it's time to board this airBaltic flight. Today I have access to the SAS lounge. SAS, also known as Scandinavian Airlines, has a major hub here at Copenhagen Airport. The beautiful hardwood floor continues throughout the central part of the airport. This feels more like a high-end shopping mall. I love Copenhagen Airport. The SAS lounge is not very well signposted. To find it, follow signs to the Delta gates and you will find the entrance here opposite the currency exchange. As a Star Gold status holder, I will use the right-hand gates to access the SAS Gold lounge. Most of the Gold lounge is upstairs, whereas the business class lounge is downstairs. As I scan my boarding pass, the machine asks if it's just me or if I want to bring a guest as well. Welcome to the SAS Gold Lounge. I'm coming to you from one of these little privacy heightened workspaces here with curtains on both sides and power sockets here in the front. I got myself a nice handcrafted cup of espresso, and the boarding is going to start in about 20 minutes or so. So cheers. The SAS Lounge in Copenhagen is decent. The highlights include the fact that there is plenty of space. The airport was very busy on this day, but the lounge was fairly empty. Another highlight is the barista-operated coffee bar where I was able to get my espresso. The lounge also has a few downsides. Number one is the catering. There is no hot food per se. There are just these hot items, but they're more like lukewarm items. The drink selection is also very limited. Number two is that the lounge shows a lot of wear and tear. I remember when this lounge was brand new, and it has really deteriorated since then. The men's bathroom, for example, is in a sorry state, and I did not want to film video there. On the other hand, they do have at least one completely private bathroom over here, which inexplicably has two sinks for one bathroom. Downside number three is that there are no apron views from the lounge, and you have to squint very hard in order to see any aircraft through the terminal building. To see some planes, we're going to have to go to the gate. It will take 30 minutes, as the departure board very helpfully shows. On the way there, you can see some very typical Danish shops. This one is extremely red and white. And there is a Lego shop, of course. Lego is from Denmark. One thing I always buy in Copenhagen is the best licorice in the world, Lakrids by Bylöv. I bought 3 huge jars in this bag. We are about to board this airBaltic flight down to Zurich here at gate Alpha 17 at Copenhagen Airport. This is the furthest gate from the main terminal building, so it's a little bit of a trek. There's no moving walkways, but I'm excited. First time flying airBaltic, and this is my favorite narrow-body aircraft type as well, the A220. Let's have a good flight. It's time to board, and I'm going to use the automated gates, which I love. Because of my Star Gold status, I'm in the first boarding group. The seats on the Airbus A220 are laid out in a 2+3 configuration, which gives a very spacious feel inside this aircraft. One thing that you may notice is that the storage bins are full size, and they are really nice. A few days before this, I flew Lufthansa on one of their CRJ regional jets, and those bins are tiny. You often have to gate check your hand luggage. The flight today was almost full, and I did not hear anybody having to gate check their hand baggage on this A220. Welcome aboard the airBaltic A220. This is a beautiful aircraft, and maybe you can see that even the cabin lighting has this beautiful green tint, same color as the logo of airBaltic. Really nicely done. I think this is going to be a really nice flight down to Zurich today. One thing I liked is the announcement at boarding. airBaltic is highlighting that we are flying a very special aircraft, the A220, and they said explicitly that this is the greenest aircraft in the sky. My seat today is 14 Alpha, which is in an exit row. It means that I have more legroom, but also a smaller window. If you look at the other rows on the A220, you will notice that they have big, beautiful windows. In my case, it's a fair compromise because check out this amazing legroom. The seat features a tray table and 2 water bottle holders. Lens cap holders. Camera holders. This is a really well-designed seat. Above me, there is a reading lamp and an individual air nozzle. The ceiling also features these small screens. That's where they play the safety video, and later they also show the flight map on these tiny screens. To me, these small screens are a defining feature of the A220. They have these on Swiss as well. I've never seen these small screens on any other aircraft. Let's continue the tour after takeoff. Even though the flight was almost full, this small aircraft did not feel cramped. There is plenty of space with this 2+3 configuration. Even though this is an exit row, the seat still reclines with the button on the armrest. It's the best of both worlds. The bathroom is in the rear, and there are two of these lavatories next to each other. You can see that the left-hand door protrudes in a little bit. As I tried to lock it from the inside, I had to push it outward with my foot. This is a great bathroom, especially for a small aircraft like this. It's well equipped. There are both facial tissues and hand towels, and there are two of these sturdy bars which will definitely assist you if you have mobility issues. On the left-hand side, there's something that looks like a door into the other lavatory with a small latch down here. I didn't explore what the door actually does. I would like to think that you can open it to combine the one bathroom with the other one into one great big master bathroom. What do you think this potential door is for? Put your answers in the comments below. Because this flight is sold as a Swiss flight, the Swiss chocolates are already prepared. And no, I did not steal a piece of chocolate this time. In terms of the onboard service, everybody gets a free water bottle. In the seat pocket, there is a buy onboard catalog, but I didn't actually see the cart in the aisle. I imagine that they did not offer the food service on this airBaltic flight. There is also a duty-free catalog, which makes sense because we are flying outside of the EU, but I did not see a cart for that either. Maybe you have to ask specifically. This flight was only 1.5 hours, and soon it's time to land in Zurich. The weather in Zurich is pretty miserable, and I can see that we are going to use air stairs and buses, so I didn't film the deplaning, but there was a very nice surprise waiting for me at the airport. I have now arrived successfully in Zurich on airBaltic, and I'll share my final thoughts about that flight in just a moment. But first, let's do a quick visit to the Swiss Alpine lounge here in the transfer area. It is a fairly new lounge. It's the first time I've been here, and I kind of accidentally stumbled upon it because I didn't even remember that they had introduced it. This lounge warrants its own video. Let me just summarize that it is very, very nice. What a great ending to an awesome flight. Some Swiss chocolate pudding, a hot espresso, and a local Swiss pear spirit. Cheers. Based on my experience with this flight, airBaltic is a cool airline, and I would happily recommend it. The fact that they only use A220s, which are environmentally friendly and super comfortable, is a real plus. Click or tap the screen right here for the next video and hit the subscribe button to get more airline reviews like this. My name is Markus. Thank you for watching.